I made a giant hamburger sofa. It's not only a sofa, but you can also sleep in it when you're tired. With my body shape, I realized while eating a hamburger that if I enlarge the hamburger, making a hamburger sofa would be really fun. So, I bought some felt fabric to make the hamburger box. I first cut and sewed the felt fabric. This is what it looked like at this point. Then, I sewed the bottom of the box. It still felt a bit too thin, so I cut some foam and put it inside. I also added some foam at the bottom of the box, so it would be more comfortable to lie on. Then, I wrapped it with another layer of fabric. I sewed the edges of the box with a hand needle. I lay inside to try it, and it was quite comfortable. I thought, if I put some eggs inside, making an egg sofa would also be interesting. Then, I drew a circle on the foam to make the hamburger buns. I really amaze myself sometimes. Whenever I eat something, I want to turn it into a sofa. What should I do? A couple of days ago, when eating crab, I thought of making a crab sofa. I put the buns into the box, then cut a piece of terry cloth to imitate the beef patty. I made it and stuffed it inside. Then, I added some shredded foam. The beef patty was ready. Look how soft it is. Next, I cut a piece of yellow fabric to make a slice of cheese. I thought, what's going on with Ironhead? Do you want to dismantle the sewing machine too? I sewed a piece of red fabric to make the tomatoes in the hamburger. Then, I added some yellow fabric, and the tomatoes were done. I also added my favorite lettuce. Then, I shaved a big piece of foam to make the big bun for the hamburger. I wrapped it with a piece of plush fabric. Let's take a look at the effect. Sleeping in this hamburger sofa during winter is just so much fun. The new year is coming soon. Relatives and friends are coming to my house. I'll bring out my hamburger sofa. Everyone gets a slice and sits on it. It's so impressive. I made a giant corn coffee table using foam. Here's how it happened. A couple of days ago, while eating corn at home, I realized that if you magnify the corn 100 times and make it into a coffee table, it would be so cute. First, I drew a circle on the foam, cut it into a cylindrical shape. I tried cutting it with a knife, but it was impossible. Then, I switched to a heated knife to cut it, but it was so slow. Come on, let me use my best tool for this. You know what? It actually worked. It can't be called cutting through iron like mud, but it really works great. To make it look more like corn, I used a carving tool to etch out the corn kernels. This part wasn't hard, but it took me 2 days to carve it. This really looks like a big bone. I also carved out a piece where the corn had been bitten off. Now, I'll mix some plaster and apply it on top. Once the plaster dries, I can start sanding it. Each area can be sanded to make it smoother. This will make it easier for us to paint later. While working on this, I ate another corn. I found some inspiration, and this is how it felt. Inspiration struck. I mixed some transparent resin and brushed it over the corn. Now, the corn not only looks beautiful in color, but it also won't collect dust. Let's see the effect together. I made a bottomless flowersy coffee table using old tires. A couple of days ago, my best friend gave me a tire. She asked if I could turn it into a coffee table. I decided to give it a try. First, I cleaned the tire. Then I sawed a circular piece of wood. It fit perfectly as the base. I also found 4 table legs to attach underneath. Just fixed them in place with some screws. Next, I prepared 100 meters of rope. The rope is 8 millimeters thick and I glued it to the tire. Make sure to wear gloves while gluing. Otherwise, it will burn your hands. I glued some cardboard on top, then placed a mirror. Then I prepared a bunch of beautiful dried flowers. I cut the flower heads one by one, then glued them one by one to the tire. You wouldn't believe it, but gluing flowers took an entire day. It was so tiring. I had a drink and took a break. I attached some LED lights and added a double-sided mirror on top. Then, I started gluing flowers again, because I bought flowers that were too small. So I spent day after day gluing them. Now, it's finally done. Let's take a look at the final effect together.